My mic here? Yeah, we're good. We're good. What's good, man? What's good? Actually, I won't be here for long either, but I wanted to make sure I at least popped in and said hello. Like, I'm trying to do this regularly. Yeah, it was good for them to get the W without Tatum, right? But I expected it. Like, I don't expect them to have a problem with the Magic. I really don't think that, like, Cleveland should be tough, but there's no other team in the East that scares me right now. Dang, you must have got that Rocky money. Hey, thank you for the 5 gifted. Paulo Creed, bro. So that's your name from now on. That's your name from now. My earlobe's about to go wild. Thank y'all for even though I had that streaming hiatus, still sliding through when I hit the button. Sometimes I'd be like, bro, they like probably watching Kai Cenat by now. Yeah, I mean, they're probably watching Kai by this time because I got something I haven't streamed in like a month, bro. Yeah, Blimpy was actually surprisingly good. I wasn't expecting that because when I walked in there, I was like, there's no way because it looked like a glorified Subway. I'm like, I'm in for something, but it's surprisingly good. I'm surprised that like they kind of fell off like they did because it really wasn't that bad. I was surprised a lot of people in the comment section was like, nah, we had Blimpy. There's people in Washington that said they had Blimpy. And I'm like, it was out there. Because I don't really know. I was young, so I don't know like how far it reached out. But it said there was like over 1,000 at one point. But I was surprised. Blimpy was kind of popping. I'll watch the draft, but I don't know like where or what I'll be doing. But I'll at least have it on like in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? It'll be on some whatever. You've been working your ass off. Javi, I ain't streamed in a month, bro. You good? I haven't streamed in a month, bro. I've been super busy, man. But, the studio is done being built, so I have a little more spare time. But now I got a second channel, so that went away. But I got my 2 videos out today. We got a Crumble video out tomorrow on a second channel, so make sure you stay tuned for Crumble again. Travis Hunter, I think he goes 2. I think he ends up going 2. Everything I've read says he's going 2. I don't think he's there when the Giants pick at 3. I think the Giants take Carter at 3. And I think Sanders is probably going to slide at least to like 20, which I didn't expect, but it's just the way that like it kind of shook up for them. Am I going to start? Yeah, probably. If there's something worth seeing, I'm not just going to go for the sake of going, but like Sinners, I definitely had to, but there'll be some more for sure. I might go see Sinners again. I said that. I might go this weekend. I'm not 100% sure. The Warriors? Oh, you must have. I got a time delay because it's 9 seconds left. But yeah, they got smacked up today. But losing Jimmy hurt them bad. You know what I'm saying? Like he provides a lot for them, even if it's not like points. So Until Dawn might be a good watch. That might be a good watch. We'll see if I can get out there. That's Friday. Can I get there on Friday? Maybe. McMillan, I don't know where he's going to go because wide receiver is a much more volatile thing than quarterback. So I think he gets picked in probably the first. I think he goes on day 1, but you never know. He's got a ton of upside, the guy. He's a good player, but wide receivers are so volatile. Sometimes you get receivers that drop and go up. It's different. Jersey might. It was decent. I don't really care for, I said in the video, I don't really care for other people's chicken salad, but it was decent. I wouldn't mind it. It's not something that I would go out of my way to get, but But I'm gonna tell you, the Blimpy tuna was actually better than any of the other ones, which is crazy. But I remember growing up that like my dad always got tuna at places, and he always ate Blimpy tuna when we went to Blimpy. He always got tuna. They used to have this burger when I was a kid, but they don't have it no more. They had a burger, but it was like a long patty, like a chicken patty, but like how like Burger King has that. They used to have a burger like that. It was called a Blimpy burger, but that was it. It's the same idea, man. Egg salad is like, it's a rare thing. I don't even really like deviled eggs like that. And anything about black folk, like every fucking party, just deviled eggs. That like New Year's is like 57 deviled eggs. I don't really care for it that much. Like, I'll eat it, but I'm not going to go out of my way for no deviled eggs. I've ever had, bro, I know this is like one of those things because a lot of people, they don't know how long I've been doing, especially snack reviews. I've had almost every high-end cookie company that you can think of. Like, I have gotten sent so many boxes of cookies in the last like 7-8 years because you can go back on my Instagram and find cookies that, I've had them all, bro. I think that's why I don't like Crumble that much, because compared to those, which are like comparably priced, it's ass. And I think that's why like I don't really care for Crumble. Oreos, I still do Oreos every time they come out. It was just there in the late 2010s, there was like a new one coming out every like month. They put one out. Whereas now it's like every couple of months. But I still do them. It's just they're it's not like what it was. Do I offer insight on how to build channels? This is I feel like there's so many accounts on like TikTok and YouTube and all these like, and they're like, if you want to build an account, just do this. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I have no fucking idea. Sorry for cursing, Mom. I have no idea how to build an account. I just post stuff. It's like, I see all these people with all this like, oh well, you know, SEO and like all of that to me is BS, man. If you make content and your content resonates with people, they'll find it. It'll eventually it will happen. If you've been doing something for a year or two and there's no motion with that, then I would suggest trying a different angle on how you're doing it. But one, it's not overnight. And two, it's just not, I don't think there's a way. Like I see all these accounts trying to sell people on like ways to, I don't believe in that. There's definitely ways that you can learn how to make better content, like how to light your videos better, or you know, how to have better audio, or you know, like cameras and stuff. But I don't think that's important when you're making content unless your content is based around that. You know what I'm saying? You think of somebody's fast growing accounts like on Twitch, like Kai Cenat, I have better equipment than Kai Cenat. I do. I see what he uses, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. My point is you don't need it. And he didn't grow using crazy expensive stuff. When you think of the biggest Twitch streamers, bro, they don't have crazy equipment. When you think of YouTubers, like Sam Sulik is one of the fastest growing YouTubers last year. He just had a regular ass camera and a mic. It wasn't nothing crazy. Like it don't have to be all this like Mr. Beast type of stuff, which is one way of doing it. But I give him credit because I watched a thing. He studied virality for like a decade. Like, and that's where he came up with a lot of stuff that he does. But I just don't think that it's important. That's like, it's just like put out the content that you believe in making. It's not, there's no like right or wrong way to do it. Cause a billion people will tell you a billion other reasons. Mic am I using? This is a Rode. I'm sorry, I smacked the shit out of that. This is a Rode NTG. I think there's either a 2 or a 3. I can't remember. I'm not into making the type of content that is more like something that I would be doing strictly because people want to see it. You know, like where I wouldn't enjoy doing it. Like it's just not for me. I don't like making like, you know, like, oh, I ate the whole menu. I'm just not doing that. Bonchero, good player, man. Good player. What made me do it? People wanted to see it and I could do it. That is really that simple. But I made a choice saying that I'm not going to do it because I don't like the way I feel. Like at that point, I felt like I was doing it strictly for the views. And that's just not, I'm not like that. Like I would never do something like strictly for the views. If there's certain types of content people want to watch within the confines, like chain restaurants, I do more of those now. Yeah, because that's what people want to see, but I don't mind doing that. Like if you told me to eat the whole Chili's menu, then I'd be like, no. Did I get yeah, I did. The channel was, at that point, my average video was probably getting 1,000 or 2,000 views in a 24-hour span. And the eating challenges were getting 10 to 15,000 views. It was like a huge discrepancy, but I'm not that. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't like it. Like there was I think it was either the Krispy Kreme video or there was another one that I did that I was just like, bro, like when I finished doing it, I was like, what are you doing? Like, I'm not doing this no more. And I stopped. Like it was that simple for me. I was like, I can't do that. I like where I live. There's plenty of other people that do all the traveling stuff. I'm not saying I'm opposed to it, but you know, people have been breaking my balls to travel for probably 2-3 years now, and I still haven't. Plus, I watch all these videos, these planes on the runways doing stuff they ain't supposed to do. I like, you know, I don't want to make that a regular thing. I'm not, you know, just no. Again, I'm not just. I don't think people realize I don't travel because I don't want to. Like, it's really that simple. I got 2 dogs at home. I got family around me. And me being on the road, I can't go help nobody when they need to. And nobody's going to take care of my dogs. And I'm not leaving my dogs at a kennel or some stranger because people want to watch me eat in LA. I just, you know, I'm not saying it'll never happen. But I don't think I will ever do something where I'm regularly traveling all the time. You know what I'm saying? I've barely left Bergen County, which is where I live in New Jersey, to make food videos. Like I could go to this whole state before that. And it's hard enough for me to get out of here for 2 hours in a day, let alone 24, 36. You know what I mean? The other thing is people are used to watching videos from me every day. And if I start traveling, content every day is out the window. I can't do that. Like you're going to have content like once or twice a week, which I'm sure some people are like whatever about it, but why mess with a thing that's working? You know what I'm saying? See, that's the thing though. If I travel, I'd end up at chain restaurants. Like if I went to Cali, the first place I'd go was In-N-Out Burger. And I know that video would do really well, but it's just like, it's hard for me to go places. Like there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes because I don't talk about my personal life, but I take care of a lot of people. I can't just leave. You know what I'm saying? Like I got sick people in my family that I pay their bills. I'm emergency contact for multiple people. Y'all don't know all that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not trying to make nobody feel sorry for me, but this is my life. So do I have? I've done like 5 Dave's Hot Chicken. I just did one recently. Like I think I did it. It came out on Easter. I've done so many days. Like this is. I just think people don't realize how many videos I put out. Because if you check every day, bro, there's a new video at 6 p.m. And people are always asking, "Oh, you need to do a video." I'm like, "Yo, I did one 3 days ago. Where y'all been at?" But in this case, Dave's Hot Chicken was literally 3 days ago. Yeah, Bojangles is open, but it's not. It's not. A lot of people missed that one because it was on Easter, and a lot of people like holidays. People don't really tune in like that. Like it's easier to upload on the second channel because I don't have to eat. You know what I'm saying? The main channel's tough because it's food. You can't reshoot stuff if the sound is off. Like you can't do it again. You just got to stick with it. And people sometimes like, oh, the audio's messed up. I can't fix it. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes things happen where there's technical difficulties. Like I can't fix it. There's nothing I can do. Whereas like on the second channel, if I put a video out and the lighting is whatever, I can just make it again. You know what I'm saying? Where you can't do that on the first channel because it's food. I can't eat again. Dunkin's, I just don't like their dough. Like I don't like Dunkin'. So some people, because I said that in my ratings thing that I did a food rating thing on my second channel. And some people were like, oh, I love Dunkin'. Like I really don't. Dunkin' is like the quality of Dunkin' has gone way downhill since, the 2000s. Way downhill. It used to be whatever when they had the time to make the donuts guy, but he ain't, he gone. I had been cutting since January. I just don't announce anything. But I always usually cut around that time. A lot of people now, because you see it, they're like, you look leaner and stuff. Like, yeah, I think in January I was like 237. It was on purpose though. I always do that because I didn't like the way I looked, so I tried to like reverse diet, try to gain as much possible, and then like, try to diet down again. But right now I think I'm like 212. So I'm looking to be like around 210. So I'm pretty much like, I'm not dieting anymore. No, I'm more like going back to maintenance and then we'll chill from there. I don't think cutting is hard. I think people make that harder than it has to be. Like I cut this whole time. I was eating all Taco Bell, Papa John's, Jersey Mike's. People like, oh, see, I don't know how you do. I'm like, bro, because y'all got no discipline. Y'all sit there and eat the whole pizza. y'all sit there and eat the whole pizza. I think the problem with people when it comes to dieting is they don't know what they're eating, and it's like the worst thing you could do is just like try to figure it out, and you just be eating, and you don't realize all them hidden calories that you have. You eat the whole pizza, and there you go. Calories are sneaky. If you don't know what you're doing, yeah. That's the problem with people. They laugh when they see me drinking Diet Coke and stuff. And they're like, you got all that food in the Diet Coke. I'm like, bro, you know how much more calories this would be if I had a Diet Coke? If I didn't? Why does a cup of flour have 400 calories? When are you eating when are you eating a cup of flour? Like a whole cake has like 2 cups of flour. How much cake are you eating? Did I talk about artificial dye? I'm not necessarily opposed. If you're talking about like RFK, I'm not opposed to it. I don't care as much as people do, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing if you like want it out of food. I think people are like they blame it on that, and it's really not. There's no conclusive study that has ever shown that Red 40 does what all these TikTok scientists says it does, and they pull out these inconclusive articles because they just want to believe it. But if you tell me you don't want it in food, I'm fine with it. I'd rather have real stuff than artificial dyes, but they're not necessarily, unless you're eating a crap ton of it, toxic for you. But at that point, eating a crap ton of anything is toxic for you. So I don't have a problem with it if they're out. Like I have no problem with it. I think that's the least of our problems as a country though. You know what the problem with our country is and why we're not healthy? Because we're fat and lazy. And people don't want to admit that. You know what the number one killer of people is? Heart disease. You know what the number one cause of heart disease is? Obesity. I'm going in the mic for that one. That's the problem. A lot of people eat and don't move. And they eat all the time. They snack and they eat and they snack and they wake up and they snack. The average American wakes up in the morning and they have a coffee with mad sugar and cream. They go to Dunkin' Donuts, grab a bagel or a coffee. They go sit in a chair for 4 hours. In those 4 hours, they eat M&Ms and Reese's and snacks and stuff. They get up for 45 minutes to eat. Then they go sit back down for another 4 hours and eat snacks and all this other stuff because they're bored at their desk, so they eat snacks. And then they get up, they get in their car, they go home, they eat, and they go to sleep. Like, what do you think's going to happen? at that point. But that's what the majority of, especially people who have office jobs, it's hard enough sitting in an office. So if you're in there, you really got to do extra stuff to stay out of that stuff. But most people are super, super sedentary. They don't move and they eat all day. When I worked in my dad's office, when I sat in other people's office buildings, when I was around like the teachers and stuff that I went, or when I coached in football, all they did was eat and they just sit there. That's the truth. Like when I sat in that office, I watched every person in my dad's office. They all would pull snacks out their office, 10 a.m. bag of M&Ms. You want some of these? Nah, I'm good. Oh, health nut over here. I'm like, you just ate, right? 10 a.m. They go get a coffee, sugar, cream, right? 11 a.m. get a coffee, sugar, cream, all right? Grab a Reese's out the desk. There's a big bowl of snacks over here. They order pizza for lunch. That's the average American. You know what I'm saying? And if you're at an office job, you have to do things to go out of your way, but people aren't willing to do that. So that's the biggest problem that we have. It ain't Red 40, right? It's Bubblicious. Actually, that's not even a lot of calories. It's Ben and Jerry's, you know? And that's the biggest thing. Like a lot of people don't want to be honest with themselves. I'm not saying everybody's a genetic gift, and I'm not saying it's easy for everybody to get up, be active, watch what you eat like ice cream and stuff like that in moderation, but most people ain't doing that. And that's the problem. Sugar, it's not really just the sugar. It's what kind of sugar. Like people aren't eating table sugar, but a lot of crappy stuff is loaded with sugar, yeah. But again, like some people is cheeseburgers. You know what I'm saying? But that cheeseburger with mayo, then the fries, then the regular soda, then you want something sweet with that. Now you just ate 1,800 calories. And that's the difference. When I eat at Chili's and I have 1,500 calories, that's all I ate that day. When other people eat at Chili's, that's lunch. What'd you have for breakfast? What'd you have for dinner? What'd you have for a snack? What you got when you get home? That's where it adds up. And people don't see that. You know, fruit can have a lot of sugar in it. Fruit does have sugar in it. Like, I think a lot of people don't know this, but fruit sugar is fructose. That is what it is. Like, all sugar, like fruit sugar is a thing. So oranges, apples, pear, they all do. But how much fruit are you eating? Like, are you eating 9 pears in a day? There's still less sugar in that than if you know what I'm saying? It's not about bad or good sugar. Sugar is still metabolizes in the body the same. How much sugar are you eating? You're a lot less apt to eat too much sugar eating fruit than you are eating snacks. You get what I'm saying? That's the problem. It's not the sugar. It's where those sources of sugar come from. If I'm not trying to make this a health lesson, but this is what I went to school for. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem that people have is people say, oh, like, you know, like don't eat pasta. It ain't the pasta. It's the Alfredo scampi butter sauce you put on top with extra Parmesan cheese. And that's the problem. There's more calories in that Alfredo than there is the pasta. But that's what people don't realize is that's where they go crazy. Like, it's not the pasta. It's not the bread. It's what you put on that bread. You just ate a slice of bread. You look at American sandwiches versus sandwich in France. You know what a sandwich in France has? Maybe a little bit of butter, right? And some meat. Maybe a little bit of cheese. Here, extra cheese, bacon, buttered bread on a brioche bun with extra mayo, a little ketchup, got some fries on the side of that. The double rancher big back, right? Like that's the difference with us, bro. And it's crazy because we don't see it. Like that's how we do stuff. Like everything we do here, like when we go out to eat, bro, we eat. You know what I'm saying? We go sit down. Think about the average person when they sit down and have food. Real talk. What do? You sit down, got the appetizers, right? Couple of them for the table. Can't just get one. Nah, I got like 3, 4. You know what I'm saying? What do you want? A couple of drinks for everybody? Cool. You want some wine? Maybe. What else you want? Let me get a soda. You have like 3 sodas before the food gets here. They put the bread down. 4 slices of the big bun bread with the butter. Slap that on there. Boom, boom, boom. Now you got a couple of mac and cheese balls from Cheesecake Factory with some egg rolls. You're already at like 1,200 calories. Your entree ain't even get here yet. Right? So you sit down, have the entree. That's like 1,800 calories. You polish that plate off. And if you didn't, you probably took it home and finished the rest, right? So that's like 1,800 calories right there, right? You want something sweet to finish that meal off? Yeah, we gonna have dessert? Oh yeah, let me get a cheesecake. Another 1,200 calories. You just ate like 4,000 calories. Boom. And that's lunch. You'll go home and eat again. Like, and you probably had breakfast. And you didn't go out. Or you didn't work out. That's where it adds up. And people, you don't see it. Because you're like, oh, like, And that's how we get down here, you know, and you add that to the fact that the majority of Americans have desk jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we're that sort of workforce. Like the majority of us go to an office, you sit down and you keyboard mouse and you go do your job, and that's a sedentary lifestyle. So you add all those two things up, and then the other fact of that is, what do most Americans do on the weekends? Nothing. People eat worse on the weekends when they're not working. You know what I'm saying? Football season comes. What's everybody do on Sunday? Right? You ain't going to church. Nah, you going to the church of the Philadelphia Eagles. You're going to bring the people over. You're going to put on your Saquon jersey. You're going to eat some wings. You're going to have some beer. That's how we get down. You know what I'm saying? And people look at me crazy because when I go watch the game with my friends, they all eating wings and stuff. And I'm not saying don't eat wings and stuff, but I don't eat it. And they're like, oh, so don't you just eat food all the time? And I'm like, nah, that's that's how we get down. You do have a job. You make content. And from what you've told me, you make good money doing it. Don't ever complain about this job, bro. This is the greatest job in the world. And whoever complains about this job is fucking crazy. Like, I hate hearing content creators complaining about this job. Like, are you insane? That's the stupidest. Like, do you hear these streamers and stuff like, yeah, man, this is like, it's harder than a 9 to 5? Shut the fuck. What? I'm not saying there's not work involved. Yeah, there's work involved with the job. Of course there's work involved with the job. I'm not saying there's no work involved, but you're not sitting in a room all day where you're obligated to sit there even when there's nothing to do like this. Like, I've been in office buildings, bro. There's no way. Like, bro, like, I'm editing stuff. I got music on. I got my headphones on. Today I was editing, you know what I'm saying? I'm also doing other stuff. I'm watching YouTube on the side. I'm like, are you crazy? Like, yes, there's a lot of work involved, but so what? If you can get to a point where this is your job, bro, you're on drugs. Someone saying you'll set you up and show you the ropes. Yeah, it's funny. I wish I had that too. One thing you hate about it is editing. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not the most fun thing in the world, but you still do it on your own time. You know what I'm saying? That's like, when you work, I don't know if you've ever worked in an office, but I've dealt with people who've worked in an office. I've been in an office. Like, you can't just, if I want to while I'm editing, I can literally get up and go lay down for an hour. Nobody's going to stop me. It might have to get done before the night is over. When you work in an office, bro, they want you sitting in front of that screen all day. Even when there's nothing to do. You be hiding in the bathroom from your boss. I've done it. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I edit, bro, I go over here, I edit, I walk around, and I like this. At the end of the day, it's anybody who says that this is like there are downsides to it, but hell no. Like, there's people that like are millionaires because they react to videos online. Are you crazy, bro? It's like, because when I'm talking clubs, I'm talking clubs. Like, I'm not talking about a bar. I'm talking about clubs. When you walk in and it's like, it's just music, and you like, and it's like just people. I can't, bro. I just thinking about that gives me anxiety right now. Because I was definitely in there when I was that age, bro. You walk in and you be standing next to the woofer and you never mess with clubs. I'm not trying to diss nobody that's younger. Y'all are too young to know when clubs were actually good, because y'all don't socialize like we did. You have to understand, if you were in an era before social media, you know what I'm saying, was like what it is now, and smartphones, y'all go out and be like this on the phone the whole time. We didn't have that. We had to socialize. In order to make friends, we had to socialize. We had to go out, touch grass, and meet people. You don't have to do that anymore. Y'all have a lot more stuff to do. We didn't have that. Like, when I was 21, there was no Twitch. There was no, Facebook definitely existed. Twitter existed. Instagram barely existed, but it wasn't what it is now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have so much stuff that we had to go to the club. When you're 21 in 2013, 2012, like, you understand how different that is? Because if you wanted to meet people, you wanted to meet girls, like, where was you finna go? You gonna stand outside 7-Eleven? You went to the club. You went up in there, bro. You better believe it. That's what you did. You went and talked to the subwoofer. You be in there, you be like, hello. That's what you did. That's how I met girls. I went to the club. You know what I'm saying? So now, if you go out, like, I've been to bars in the last like 3-4 years for sure. But when I go to a bar, this is all I see. That's it. We didn't do all that. We were socializing. When you was in the club, there was no phone to look down at. Like, you was in there. Yes, I'm going to make the club beat every single time. That's what we did. So it's different now. So I definitely understand like Gen Z, but millennials, it's a different generation. You know what I'm saying? And I'm from Jersey. Like, we was Jersey shoring it up. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was different. So we was up in there Jersey shoring it. You know what I'm saying? When you watch Jersey Shore, that was me at 21. I ain't dressed like that. But you get what I'm saying? That's what when you think about how they lived their lives, like, that's what we did. You know what I'm saying? Like, you whatever during the week, but when the weekends came, took your ass to the club, and you was up in there, you know what I'm saying, with the oil, and not no Diddy oil. I'm talking about like actually just you was greased up, and you was up, and that's what we did. Gym tan laundry? No, Jersey Shore was a corny version of what it was really like down the shore. That's not what it was, but we was definitely up in there. You know, it was like, bro. I've been in clubs back then, bro. The subwoofer, you could fit in the subwoofer. It was like two big no, that Diddy oil is not that kind of oil. That's not what it is. But when you talk about like what it was like back then, the fact that like, you know, people weren't on their phones like that. So when you wanted to meet up with people, the only time you use your phone is to hit somebody up to meet up somewhere. Whereas now people have whole relationships on a phone. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, it just was different. So the club was where you socialized. It's where you went out and started talking to girls. Now people get Tinder. And my age bracket, when you had a Tinder, you were a loser. And I'm not saying that in a bad way because it's different now. But if you were on a dating app when I was 21, it was like you didn't tell anybody. You know what I'm saying? You know how now people, oh, I'm on Tinder, I'm on, you know, I don't, what was it, a Bumble or like Hinge? Like, we didn't tell anybody because it was like, oh, you can't meet no girls in real life. You got to go on there and like, if what you got your e-date, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was corny. So that it's different now. So when people want it, like now when people are like, oh, I'm single, I want to meet somebody, they download Tinder. We weren't doing that. You know what you did? You went to the club. All right, I gotta go. I got a lot of meetings tomorrow. I still gotta edit my videos. I was only said I was gonna stream for like an hour and a half, but it's been 2.5. So let me go do my thing, bro. Nah, I was only supposed to stream earlier than this. But I'll be back on Friday more than likely. But I'm gonna start streaming regularly and all that other good stuff. But where's my buttons at? I'm like out of whack because I haven't streamed in so long. It's this one right here? Yeah, it's this one. It's the perfect song too. Look.